And welcome to the start of our brand new series here on the channel. We're finally on College Football Revamped for our brand new Dynasty mode featuring, you saw it in the title, you can see the jersey I'm wearing right now, the BYU Cougars. Yes, we're going to be playing with Brigham Young this year, and now BYU is not doing great in real life this year. They did well last year. They were, of course, great and excellent with Zach Wilson as their starting quarterback. It is now the Jaren Hall era in BYU, and they're doing all right for themselves, but really not the same team that they've been the last couple years this year in real life. But that is my mission here with BYU as they start the season at number 25 in the country. We will try to take BYU to a national championship. Obviously, next year they're going to be in the Big 12, so this will be our one and only year as an independent. And I'm not going to really, go through what BYU schedule in real life, because they're playing some decent teams, but I don't really want to play Oregon. I'll probably keep Oregon, but there's some teams I don't want to play. I doubt our first game is going to be at Southern Florida. I just don't really want to play that game, so we're going to make our own schedule. It should be a lot of fun. But folks, if you have not yet, make sure that subscribe button down below for some more College Football Revamped here on the channel. It helps the channel a lot if you hit that subscribe button down below, and let's try to get 75 likes for episode number 2 of this BYU series. If we get 75 likes on this Brigham Young episode number 1, I will get episode number 2 out by Thursday. Actually, we'll go, if you can get 75 likes by Thursday, we'll get out by Thursday, if not Friday, for the next BYU gameplay here, or the next BYU Dynasty video. Here we go. Our head coach's name is Zachy the MILF Slayer, because, I inspire to be like Zach Wilson every day of my life. But yes, here we are, the number 25 ranked BYU Cougars. So again, we start the season off, in the top 25, which is huge. I'm not going to do much recruiting in today's video, because I think I've gone over this before when we did the Tennessee Dynasty last year. A lot of the recruiting doesn't get started till week 2, and really preseason recruiting is not that big. Obviously you want to go out there and get the guys who are really interested in your school, but other than that, you're looking over to week 2 to get guys who aren't particularly interested in becoming a BYU Cougar. So we'll do that off camera. I really don't feel like the need to show you guys that. And then I'll real quickly we'll look over the depth chart, and then I'll look at redshirting guys or not. So our quarterback, of course, the star of this team, Jaren Hall. He is a junior, 87 overall. He's the guy that we are basically making this series around in Hall. We have got our freshman quarterbacks, our backup, 75 overall, so he'll be taken over after 2 years after Hall's done, or hopefully Hall doesn't leave in the transfer portal. That would suck if I can speak English. We have got the former, I believe, Cal Bear running back, and Christopher Brooks. Oh, English is tough. But we have Christopher Brooks as our running back. Brooks is 85 overall. He's a senior. And then we've got our backup 2 in Ncaa, who is a senior as well. But Christopher Brooks, of course, will be our guy, if I can speak. At running back, our fullback is Mason Wake. He is a 77 overall, a junior. At wide receiver, we have got Puka. He's an 87 overall. He's a junior. We have got also Gunnar Romney as well. Keanu Hill is our third string wide receiver as well. Then we've got Cody Hagan, and we have got Cody Epps as well at receiver. Moving on to the tight ends, we've got Isaac Rex. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he'll be the starting tight end this season. And then we got Dallin Holker as our backup tight end as well. Our line is pretty good. Blake Freeland's really good. Clark Barrington is really good, 94 overall. At center, we've got Connor Pay. Right guard, we got Campbell. He's an 81. And then we've got Kingsley, who's a redshirt freshman, 86 overall in his first season playing for us. That's a big add right there at right tackle. Our defense is solid. We got 81 overall left end. At right end, we've got Tyler Beatty, who's 83 overall. He's only a sophomore. D tackle, we've got Earl, and we have got Caden, 78 and 78. One's a senior, one is a sophomore. Left outside linebacker, we have got Ben. He's an 84 overall. Middle linebacker, 86 overall, Keenan Peely. He's a junior, 86, and then we've got Pepe, who is a 81 overall middle linebacker as well. I believe, was he a sophomore, I think? He's a senior. Okay, senior. Right side linebacker, we have got Peyton. He's an 84 overall. Corners, we've got Caleb Hayes. He's going to be our senior corner, who's going to be leading the pack. Gabe Judy Lawley is an 83 overall. We have got Jacob Robinson as well at corner. So our secondary isn't horrible, and then Malik Moore will be the senior free safety for this team. Then at strong safety, we've got Chaz, who's an 81 overall as well. Our kicker is Jake Oldroyd. He's an 83 overall. And then at punter, we have got Ryan Reckow, who is an 87 overall. I probably butchered the hell out of a lot of these names. I'll keep it a buck with you. I have not watched much BYU football since Zach Wilson left. That's just how it's gone recently. So that is our team. We will now look to schedule some different squads, because again, I get a lot of freedom with my scheduling this year because we're an independent. And then after that, I'll schedule, I'll show you guys that, and then I'll show you guys my recruiting board really quick, and then we're just gonna get into our week 1 game. Okay, so here's our schedule. After a long deliberation with myself, this is the schedule I made. Wyoming week 1. It's a game that BYU played in real life. They won 38-24. Now, normally I schedule kind of a tune-up for myself the first week of the season. We'll see what happens, but that's the game we're going to be playing week 1. Week 2, and it's at home. Week 2, back at home, taking on Hawaii. So back-to-back home games. We should mash Hawaii. That team is not very good this season. We should kill them. Then we're going to go to Washington State. Now, again, Washington State, a team throws the football a million times a game. Of course, Mike Leach is gone now, but still, that is a tough team to play to go on the road. Likely will be like, again, we're not a Pac-12 team, but it'll be kind of a Pac-12 after dark type of game. We'll probably be at 7:30 at night, and we'll get the late spot on ESPN. We'll get on national television. Then we've got the Holy War. Now, Utah and BYU did not play in real life this year, and they're not going to play this year in real life, but instead, I will schedule this game. We will force Utah to come to Brigham Young, and we are going to beat the ever-living hell out of them. Then we will try to get some get back, of course, for that season 2 years ago where BYU went to Coastal Carolina. They lost. It was that game that was scheduled, I think, on Tuesday. They played it on Saturday. You know, I'm still not happy with the way Coastal Carolina treated Zach Wilson, especially their D-line did that game. So we are going to go to Coastal Carolina, and hopefully we will go run the Shants over there in Carolina. After that rivalry game, we are going to go to Utah State. Then we will, this is the test. I really wanted this game. Of course, we did the Tennessee Dynasty. We will host Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, and the Tennessee Volunteers. They will come to Utah to take on us. Then we've got a bye week, and then another SEC team. We will play 2 of them, 2 straight games. We will go to Florida to take on the Florida Gators. Again, it's a pretty tough schedule. We have a bye week then. Then we go at home against Boise State. Then we will, again, not many teams want to schedule military teams. They're just, like Army, Navy, because you got to prepare for the option. I am not scared. We are going to go play Army late in the season, week 12. I mean, seriously, if we have a really good first 11 weeks, we can seriously be undefeated to this point. And yes, I will go take on Army. We will prepare for the triple option. That's a big game, but yes, I want Army on the schedule. They might suck, but we're going to take them on anyway. And again, they are a very tough team to schedule and play. Then we will go to South Bend, Indiana. Now, will Notre Dame still be number 5 at this point in the season? Probably not, but we will go play Notre Dame week 13. We go to South Bend like BYU did in real life, and just like what BYU is doing in real life, we will play Stanford. We will go on over to the Bay Area to take on the Cardinal last week of the season as well. So that is our schedule. I'm gonna go do my recruiting board, and then I'll see you guys after that. Okay, so it's week 1. Let's check out the recruiting board real quick. So yeah, this is just what I have for now. Again, the real recruiting does not get started till week 2, but I'll show you guys who I have for now. I really just marked the guys who have a lot of interest in our team. And is Terry Sears going to be a guy that we're looking to recruit and bring onto the squad? Probably not. Cedric Robinson, maybe. I guess he's a 3-star. Kind of wants to go to ASU, but has interest in BYU as well. Maybe that'll be a guy we bring on. Really, these running backs aren't that good. Maybe Brian I can bring in, but he's kind of set in Utah. Utah is going to be one of those teams again that we're going to have to really get into battles with recruiting wise. Receiver, not many receivers want to come to this team. I mean, maybe if we get Matt, he's trying to go to Arizona. We'll see if we can get him. Tackle, again, a lot, just no interest in BYU just off the bat. And really that's where I market my recruiting to start off. The Dynasty is just with guys who want to come to BYU, and then we kind of filter guys out from there, and we just try to jump into races afterwards. Again, week 2 is the big week for us. But Ryan Graves, the guy who did show interest in BYU, who wants to go to Arkansas, but a guy that maybe we can take away from the Hogs over there. D-tackle, a lot of interest, just nobody who's, that great, for being honest with ourselves. Outside linebacker, get another position, a lot of interest, like Adam Matthews, who has got UNLV on his board. We can definitely take Derek Butler, who wants to go to Tulsa, and TCU, and Bama's on there as well, which makes 0 sense. Even a guy like Andrew Collins, who wants to go to Washington, right? I mean, we are in the race for him right off the bat. Middle linebacker, a lot of guys as well. Corner, no interest in all. I think Jesse Rivera was the only guy who had a slight bit of interest in going to BYU. He wants to go to Arizona, but I mean, maybe there's a chance we can get him. And then at free safety, you got Eric Sanders. He's all right, I guess. And then strong safety, Alan Rivera. A lot of interest from Arkansas, too, which is weird. No athletes, just, there just weren't any that showed any interest in us. So, not showing any interest back. So, of course, we've got the Wyoming game this week. Let's check out who. Okay, Lee Corso's got us. Of course, we're ranked at number 25. I'll check out the rankings real quick. It's just the rankings from real life at the beginning of the year. But, of course, taking on Wyoming. Yeah, it should be a big game for us. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to be taking on Toledo after us. I'll check the top 25 rankings before we get into our, I guess, the preseason polls. We'll see where Wyoming is. Of course, Bama's first, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, A&M, Utah, Michigan, Oklahoma, Baylor. Round out the top 10. There we are at number 25, slightly ahead of the Volunteers we have on the schedule this year. Let's try to find Wyoming. I don't think they're that high. Honestly, probably 75, I would guess. No, lower than Stanford. Lower than San Jose State. Are they? They're not in the top 100. They're 103. Wyoming is not projected to be that good of a football team this season, and we should kick their ass this week. So they are very low. ULM's the lowest on the list, and they're playing Oklahoma, Wake Forest, and Baylor to start the season. That's nice. But yeah, it should be a game we should go out and win. Again, I scheduled Wyoming and Hawaii early on just so we can get out there, get the offense on display, put up a lot of points, get the defense rolling before we get into the very tough part of our schedule, of course, with teams such as, Utah. Utah State's not that tough, but Utah, Tennessee, Florida, Boise, Notre Dame, Stanford, those are the teams we're preparing for, and that's what we're doing with this Wyoming and Hawaii game. And even to a certain degree and to a certain extent, we're getting ready for Washington State with these Wyoming and Hawaii games. So let's get it, man. I'm going to drop the face cam. Going to kind of do it like I did the Tennessee series and like what I did with the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise, which is still going on, by the way. It's just I'm taking a slight break from it. But yeah, let's do it, man. Wyoming, BYU. Let's get the dub here in week 1. So it is finally time for some college football. Here we go, man. The Wyoming Cowboys are on the road in Provo, Utah, to take on the Brigham Young Cougars. It is a brand new season for BYU. You can forget about whatever the hell's happened so far this season in real life for BYU, regardless of their start with their win in South Florida, then taking down number 9 Baylor. Of course, it has just been a downward trajectory for BYU after really their loss to Oregon. But now here in College Football Revamped, we get a chance to rewrite those wrongs as the BYU Cougars will kick off the 2022 season with a home matchup with the Wyoming Cowboys, a Cowboys team that BYU should really run through. And of course, this BYU team led by their star quarterback, the junior in Jaren Hall. Of course, this BYU team is ready to compete this season as we enter the rankings this year, ranked number 25 in the country. And as for Wyoming, their starting quarterback, Andrew Peasley, is going to try to take them out of the jaws of defeat tonight. Of course, Wyoming, a huge underdog coming in to Provo against the Brigham Young Cougars. Again, BYU, if you had to put a number on it, probably favored by about 3 touchdowns before the matchup next week with the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. But a big game tonight as BYU will get it from the 25-yard line. Jaren Hall going to hand it off to his starting running back. It will be Christopher Brooks. Brooks has got a gain of 9 and a first down for BYU. 2nd and 1 now at the 35. It will be a dump-off pass to his man. It will be Katoa, and it will be a gain of 10 right there for Brigham Young. So a new set of downs for BYU from the 45-yard line. Jaren Hall sticking on the ground with the former Cal Bear running back in Christopher Brooks. Brooks has got the first down yet again, down over midfield to the Wyoming 45-yard line. Brooks with 2 carries for 21 yards. Now Hall out the gun in a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Jaren Hall in the middle has got his receiver. First down, Keanu Hill. 27-yard gain here for BYU as the Cougars have got it down to the 10. It will be a halfback draw to Christopher Brooks, and Brooks will be short of the first down, but it'll pick up 9 as this BYU offense working really well early. 2nd and 1, it's going to be a jet sweep going to the tight end. Touchdown, Dallin Holker. It's a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Brigham Young as they get off to a 7-0 lead here at home against Wyoming. And we've got an update from 2 teams we will be playing this season, both in Utah and Utah State, as the number 7 team in the country. The Utah Utes take down the Aggies 24-10. But here come the Wyoming Cowboys. Here comes Peasley and the offense. He'll drop back on a 2nd and 9. Look to his right. What a dime. He'll find Joshua Cobbs for a gain of 11 as Wyoming gets their season started. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Peasley, dropping back, looking to throw now, stepping up. Peasley gonna get blitzed, and down he goes. He'll lose the football as well, and BYU's gonna take over they'll get it now deep into Wyoming territory as Brigham Young's now got it from the 30-yard line at 3rd and 5 for Jaren Hall. Over the middle, what a snag right there for the first down. What a grab by Keanu Hill, his second of the day, and Hill has got BYU now down to the Wyoming 15-yard line. 1st and 10 going back on the draw play. Chris Brooks going to break a tackle, and Brooks will pick up 8, getting us within the 10-yard line for a 2nd and 2. Hall dropping back, looking to throw. Jaren Hall in the middle has got his touchdown. It's going to be Ncaa. And even with the short field, what a drive for BYU as they've got up 14-0 here in the season opener, though. Get used to Hall to Ncaa all season long, but a good gain right there by Wyoming on the ground. It will be a 23-yard gain for Titus Swen. It will be a 1st and 10 now for Wyoming. Peasley looking, he'll dump it off to his wide receiver. 1st down, Alex Brown has got a gain of 11, and here come the Cowboys on a 2nd and 13 play action fake. Peasley gonna keep looking, he'll step up, now he'll run. Aaron Peasley's got the 1st down and more as Wyoming have worked it all the way down to the 25-yard line at 1st and 10 for Peasley from under center. He'll look to throw it over the middle. There will be Joshua Cobbs for a gain of 10, and again, with the exception of the turnover, Wyoming's offense looking good early, but on a 3rd and 8, that one to Joey Brash is only going to be completed for a gain of 2. 4th and 6 for Wyoming, and of course, they will kick the field goal from the right hash. The kick is up, and it is good. Wyoming has made this now an 11-point game, but after a really good kick return, BYU's got the ball back almost to midfield. Handoff, Chris Brooks. He shakes off a tackle, spins off a man. Gain of 9 for Brigham Young. We'll run one more play before the end of the quarter. Jaren Hall hands it back off to Brooks again, and a 1st down for Christopher Brooks will get BYU deep into Wyoming territory, as that's how we will close this first quarter with the BYU Cougars up by 11. 14-3 is our score. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. It will be a speed option. Jaren Hall takes a big hit, but of course that's the design of the play. Oh my goodness, Chris Brooks. Oh crap. Multiple spin moves by Brooks. Doesn't get the 1st down, but we'll get it right here on a 2nd and 1 inside zone. Christopher Brooks with the 1st down. BYU back in the red zone for the 3rd time in this game, and it will be a QB keep. Look at Jaren Hall. He's going to run it all the way in. Touchdown BYU. Jaren Hall has got one through the air and now on the ground. 19 yards to the house for Jaren Hall. It is 21-3 now for BYU, with Wyoming back with the football from their own 21-yard line. Here comes Peasley looking to his right. He barely gets it off to his tight end, and Welch will have the 1st down to the BYU, or to the Wyoming 45-yard line. 3rd and 6 for Peasley, trying to pick up another 1st down to his left. That one is sailed wide over his receiver, and BYU will get the football back after a Wyoming punt. 1st and 10 handoff, Christopher Brooks. Look at the juke to the outside. Brooks remaining on his feet, and somehow he'll make something out of nothing, getting a gain of 10. And BYU now with already over 100 yards rushing, and we just started the 2nd quarter. Jaren Hall now on the run. We'll find Holker again. Dallin Holker's already got a rushing touchdown tonight. He'll get 13 yards right there through the air, setting up for a 2nd and 7. Hall scrambling to his right. You know he's got the wheels. And look at Jaren Hall go. He's already got the 19-yard rushing touchdown. And Jaren Hall right there runs for 28. 1st down for BYU, as we'll now see a 2nd and 3 from the 15-yard line, going to the backup running back in Katoa. It will be a gain of 8 as BYU's now got it down to the 5. Having their way right now against Wyoming, it will be a 3rd and goal. Hall looking to throw it, scrambling to his right. Jaren Hall, touchdown. It will be Dallin Holker's 2nd of the game. Holker with the 4-yard receiving touchdown has got one rushing, and now he's got the receiving. And Jaren Hall is again having his way right now against this Wyoming defense. But can the Cowboys do something on the other side of the football? They can't. Judy Lolly with the interception as Brigham Young's got it back. Peasley throws the pick, and Gabe Judy Lolly with the interception. As Brigham Young retakes possession of the football, will let Jaren Hall keep the football right there, and Hall will have a gain of 16 yards. BYU back down to about the 15-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 4 for Brigham Young. Hall from under center, drops back, looks to throw. Jaren Hall stepping up. He can run. Jaren Hall runs over man. He's it again. Jaren Hall's 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, and BYU has put up 35 points in the 1st half here against Wyoming. And if you thought this was bad, wait till our opponents next week in the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. That team would probably lose to Wyoming. But right there's a huge grab by Joshua Cobbs, getting Wyoming now down to the 25-yard line after Cobbs' gain of 17. Peasley looking to throw on a 1st and 10. He'll look to run now, and we are going to whiff on the tackle. Aaron Peasley still on his feet. Big juke move, and Aaron Peasley's in the end zone. First touchdown of the season for Wyoming. It will be a big run by Aaron Peasley, but you might have given Brigham Young just a little bit too much time. 50 seconds for Jaren Hall. Big grab up the middle. Keanu Hill down to the 45. Still 44 seconds to go. Hall on a 1st and 10 will look to throw it. Jaren Hall in the pocket. Still got time. Steps up, and now he'll find Ncaa for the 1st down. A big gain of 24. Hall to Puka Ncaa. But now it's a 3rd and 10. We didn't really manage time the best on this drive. Only 7 seconds to go. Taking a shot to Keanu Hill. That one, though, is batted down by Cameron Stone, and we will bring up the kick team. It's a 49-yarder, but we're going to try it. Why not let it fly from the right hash? It's up, and it is good. Brigham Young gonna put 38 on the Wyoming Cowboys here in this first half. There's a reason we are nationally ranked number 25, and BYU again having their way with Wyoming in this first half. Still got a whole lot of football left to be played, but again, it has just been all Brigham Young so far. We'll take a look at the stats right now. 144 passing yards for BYU, 173 rushing. Just all around looking really good for BYU early here in week 1. So just to close out second half right here, but we'll start with Peasley in the offense, getting it from the 25-yard line. Aaron Peasley looking to throw in the pocket, and he'll try to get it off to his receiver in Wheeland, but it will be dropped, so BYU will get the football back, and we'll have it from about midfield. Jaren Hall going to send Keanu Hill in motion, and Hill is going to keep on the jet sweep, kind of the same play we scored on earlier, but Keanu Hill with a huge gain right there of 20 yards, and BYU just running the football at will right now. 197 rushing yards for Brigham Young. 3rd and 5 for Jaren Hall over the middle. Gonna find his running back in Chris Brooks on the Texas route. Again, really no need to throw the football right now because we can run it like this. Brooks in a 3rd and 2. We give it to him on the read option. He'll have the 1st down. 2nd goal now for BYU. Handoff going to Katoa, and he'll be in the end zone. It's a 1-yard touchdown for Brigham Young as they go back up by 35. 45-10 is our score. With Wyoming back with the football on a 3rd and 5. Peasley fires to his left, way out of bounds. Nothing really happening for Wyoming. We will again keep chewing this clock, and on a 1st and 10, just trying to showcase our guy in Jaren Hall. I mean, it all goes well this season. You're looking at maybe a Heisman type run out of Jaren Hall, or at least not this season, next year Jaren Hall looking at that Heisman award. But right there, 1st and 10 or 2nd and 4, big pickup to the tight end right there in Isaac Rex. It will be again at 15 yards as we will go to the 4th quarter. BYU up by 35, 45-10 is our score. So the offense has worked it down to the 20-yard line. It will be a handoff in the sweep to Chris Brooks. He'll cut it back inside, and Christopher Brooks has got the 1st down and a gain of 9. 1st and 10 now to the 10-yard line. Hall looking, scrambling to his right, maybe looking to run it. Jaren Hall the outside. He is in there. Jaren Hall with another touchdown. It will be a 12-yard carry, and BYU has put up 50 here in the season opener. I don't quite remember the difficulty. I think it's the 2nd to highest I have it on right now. I might bump it to the absolute highest. I will play the same difficulty against Hawaii, and then we'll bump it up for the Washington State game. I mean, honestly, though, if we're doing this to Wyoming, we're probably going to put up, I think, 70 against Hawaii, but stay tuned for that one coming up. Again, if you can get us, what do we say, 75 likes in this video, we'll get that Hawaii game up in the next upcoming days. But Mason Wake right there will have a gain of 23 through the air, and I mean, it's just like stealing candy from a baby. Jaren Hall up the middle is going to keep on a speed option. Touchdown BYU. 59-10 is our score. Wyoming, though, going to give it one more shot at it. Aaron Peasley going to throw crossbody, of course, to no avail. That one's incomplete. BYU will get the football back one more time, and because, of course, we'll show you every scoring play. Jaren Hall adding to the Heisman resume. What is that? Is that his 5th rushing touchdown? We'll have to check. I think he set some sort of record tonight, but Jaren Hall, 7 total touchdowns here in week 1. So was it really 5 on the ground, 2 through the air? If that is the actual stat, crazy numbers out of Jaren Hall here in the opener, but it was all Hall tonight for BYU. The entire team really came together in this 66-10 opening night victory over the Wyoming Cowboys. Again, it's what we're supposed to do to a team like Wyoming, but we set the spread at the beginning of this video at what, 21 points? And I guess maybe that'll be something we'll do throughout the entirety of the series, setting a spread. I set it for 21. We ended up winning by 56. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not the best at math, but that's 8 touchdowns. So So again, all Brigham Young here tonight against Wyoming, as we will host another Mountain West squad next week in Hawaii. Of course, this is BYU's last season before heading to the Big 12 next year, but we will enjoy our last few days as an independent before going on over, of course, to a Power 5 conference in the Big 12. So folks, thank you for watching the first ever episode here of the BYU Cougars Dynasty mode here on College Football Revamped. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button down below, and subscribe helps out the channel if you do both of those, so make sure you hit both of those buttons down below. And again, 75 likes for episode number 2 coming out as soon as possible against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. So folks, thank you for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more, and Mamba forever.